Welcome back, investors. Today we are going over our $1,000 YieldMax account, which I am really pumped for this. It has been doing insane things already. As we can see, the price is up. I'm really excited to see how this performs all in 2025. The market's been a little bit rough, but the dividends have been insane already. So here's the first half of January. We're going to do a full breakdown. And I'll be putting out about 2 videos every single month on this account, specifically to track what is paying out the most, what has the best price return, if there's any NAV erosion, and all things including with the YieldMax funds. So if you guys are interested in that kind of content, if you're interested in investing in dividends and ETFs, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like the video and to subscribe. We have some new things coming in 2025, this account being one of them, and I am very excited. So with all that said, let's roll the intro. So some updates for the account. Some weird stuff did happen with the drip. So I have drip on in this account. We're going to see how these things do, feeding back into themselves individually. The only thing is CONY and TSLY the drip wasn't activated. I'm not sure why that is, but I've turned that on now. So I had to break some things up, and it will show it in the dividend spreadsheet that I'll show at the end of this video, where I'm showing all the dividends and the full layout. So starting off strong, we see CONY. So I put $100 exactly into each of these funds. Remember that, because this is going to show us our percentage return. Because when I go to CONY, it's going to say that it is up 3%. It's actually up a little bit more because they did pay out a nice hefty dividend of $6.17. It just wasn't reinvested. So that money is going to go back into the account, but it's sitting in cash currently. So I'll fix that. We can see we're up $33.63, which is great. It's only been about 2 weeks since I purchased. This shows the 1 month history. We did buy beginning of January, and then the whole account jumped. It was at a high of $52 positive, and then it was at a low of, it was negative 32, and now we're back up to 33.60. So a lot of swings, a lot of volatility, but I'm holding on for the ride. So TSLY as well. The thing with TSLY that's interesting, it is up 8% already in the account, and drip was not on, similarly with CONY. So we're actually up more than that, but they haven't paid the dividend yet. This dividend was from my prior account, where I did own TSLY in it. So we haven't even had a dividend from TSLY yet. Now, when the dividend does come out, the price will probably drop and the dividend should be pretty good. But all in all, the price of TSLY has gone up. We can see YMAG is only up 0.02%. Not great. YMAG and YMAX have had it a little bit rough. These are the only 2 weekly payers that we have in the account, but there is a new weekly paying YieldMax fund. I'll link that video at the end of this one for those of you that are interested. I should have put it in this account. Maybe I will. We'll see. Maybe I'll swap one if something starts to trail off, because we already have some that are down pretty badly. So YMAG and YMAX sitting kind of sideways, nothing too crazy. We have been paid out dividends from both of those because they are the weekly payers. So we'll show those in the spreadsheet as well. We have AMZY. So it's sitting at 98.48. The dividend was pretty solid. It was $2.09, nothing too crazy, but overall the price has just been trending downwards a little bit ever since, looks like mid-December. So no surprise there. Because Amazon stock usually soars the 2 months prior to Christmas, I'm not surprised it's having a little bit of a cool down. That is kind of something that I would anticipate, because there's so much purchasing on Amazon, and then everything kind of goes flat because everyone gets what they need, supposedly. We have NVDY that's actually down as well, 98.78. So we're down about a percentage, a little over a percentage. We did have a nice dividend from NVDY at $3.76, but it is not our main winner so far. Our main winner so far in the account will pop up once I show you guys that spreadsheet. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. We had SQ. So this is Square Cash, SQY. And it's actually called Block, I believe is the name. And it's an interesting one. It's not nearly as popular as a lot of the other ones. We had MSTY, NVDY. But I think this one does have some potential. Paid out $3.43, which is a pretty solid start. Now, MSTY, very interested in how this thing does. We can see, let's check the 1 month. The 1 month, it is down pretty heavily. Just since that mid-December high as well. But remember, we have seen a rough start late December and early January. It was just a rough overall time in the market. The first week of January, I was down like $600 in my personal account. And now I think last month I was up 800 or something like that. So the market is bouncing all over, but a huge dividend from MSTY, which was $8.30. So even though the price is down half that, that shows why we are still not doing too terribly. We're still up. And again, drip is on for MSTY. So it's showing us we're up 8%, which I think is pretty phenomenal. PLTY. This one I am a little bit worried about because if we look at the 3-month chart, I mean, this thing, if you go out a full year, it ran like mad, and PLTR stock ran like mad. So it could have some crazy pullbacks. It really, really could. And I'm a little bit scared for that, but I had a huge dividend, $5.12. Which is wild. Because if you think about it in percentage terms of what I've invested, a $5 dividend is 5%. If you can get 5% every single month, actually 13 months, because they do pay 13 times a year. If you can get that 13 times, you're looking at a plus, 60-something% return, which is phenomenal. Now, ULTY, this one is probably one of the more controversial ones in the account, but it's doing okay. It is definitely holding its own. We're up 2% so far, and the dividend was really, really nice, sitting at $6.30. So pretty large, not as large as Misty, unfortunately, but no complaints there. I'm happy to see this account just kind of, trading sideways. I don't need all of these to accrue a ton of money in price appreciation. I want solid, consistent dividends, and the goal of this whole account is just to see what these funds can actually do. It's really to prove, oh, I've made money with this, I've lost money with this, and to track it over, a longer period. This account is based on longevity. I'm not going to hold these for 2 months each. I want to hold these funds for the entire year and see how they pay out. Are they actually making people money? Are people in the comments lying? Are people, either way, people in the comments are going to be wrong and they're going to be right because we have different opinions all the time, and that's okay. It's all right to have a different opinion. But I'm very, very curious with these. It's $1,000 on my own money. It's not a paper trading account. I have a couple different accounts now with $1,000 in them each, and it adds up very, very quickly. I think I have like about 4,000 invested just in accounts for the channel, which I do it because I love it. It's I'm not complaining by any means, but it is really fun and really interesting to see how these things actually do perform. So what we're going to do now, we're going to jump over into our dividend tracking spreadsheet. We're going to get our total P&L for each of these, which it might be a little bit different than what we've seen on here just because I have to tinker with it slightly with the drip on CONY and TSLY. But still, I'm curious how the return has been, and I'm really excited for this channel in the long term. Again, we're going to do 2 videos a month. We'll catch up mid-month and end of the month and see how price action and dividends have been paying out. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's jump into that dividend tracking spreadsheet. Just so you guys know, I have been ill the past couple of days, and there's been a lot going on, but I'm feeling better now. I was AFK for a little bit. I was away. I was sleeping mostly. I've been sleeping, I think in the last 3 days, I've slept a total of 33 hours or something like that. I've been sleeping a ton. And I'm feeling better, and I'm happy to be back. My voice is still a little bit off, as you can tell. I don't have this deep masculine voice normally. I wish I did, but I don't. So that will come back too. But still, I'm happy to be back. I've been missing talking in the comments, missing the updates on a lot of these things. So it is definitely good to be back in the chair and filming again. Now, all that being said, this account, it really is cool. We can see the 52-week charts. So all of these, here's what I'm worried about. PLTY, it's 52-week range. It's really, really high up. And so I think this one could pull back a little bit. For the rest of these, we've purchased at a pretty good time. And normally, the way I invest is I don't buy January, February with my own personal stocks because I usually see a downturn in the market. I've been trading long enough that I kind of have recognized those patterns. December, you have the Santa Claus rally, and things run up pretty nicely, and then everything cools off January, February. But still, I went against that, and I bought all these for the account because it's important to have it for the full year, I think, even if it does cost me a little bit of money in the end. So we did. We bought all of these. I bought all the ones for our $1,000 high growth ETF account, which is a high growth ETF that I created on just basic common stocks that I think is going to be doing pretty well, but we will see. We'll have an update coming out for that one soon as well. So now the total return, here's where it gets a little bit fishy. We have the dividends auto uploaded, so this actually makes a lot more sense. So TSLY is actually not up 8%. It's up 6.5% total return. And we see CONY not up 8% as well. Or actually, no, it was up 1% or 2%. So it's actually up almost 7%. And then we have MSTY. And this is what's absolutely crazy. The dividend was insane. There may be something off with the fluctuation of the price. So because we had a weird couple of days in the market, we're going to have Monday closed as well. It might fluctuate. But as of this point, MSTY, is it really? It's up 8%. We see it up 8% with an 8% dividend, and we can actually check back in here quickly. It is pending the repurchase. So that's the thing. So right now we're up 8% here, but it's already showing the dividend on here. So we're not up 17%. We're just up about 8%, which is what we see here. Because the dividend's auto-populated. I auto-populate them into the monthly chart here, and then it puts it into our positions here. So we will look at the dividends that were paid out by each so far. We just haven't had a dividend from TSLY yet. So that market return is all we've gotten from TSLY, which is very impressive. But MSTY, we're up 8 or 9%. We're not up to 17, like I said. So what are we down on? So we're down on YMAG and YMAX, unfortunately, a bit of a dip there. We are positive on AMZY, which is interesting to me. Not one that I expect to do as well as some of the others. NVDY, we're down a little bit. We are down on SQY, and we are down on PLTY by 4%. So far, the biggest loser is PLTY. ULTY is up 1.67%. We've seen a price decline, but we've also seen a nice dividend payment. So I'm scrolling over. I'm into our monthly dividend log. And so we can see here, CONY paid $6.17. YMAG paid $1.10. YMAX paid $1.49. So bigger payment from YMAX. We're kind of used to seeing that. I'm going to link the most recent weekly dividend ETF account I have. That one's really fun to watch, and I do 4 videos a month on that one because there's just so much stuff happening in the account. But I added up the dividends because there were, I think, 2 from each so far. AMZY paid $2.09, NVDY paid $3.76, MSTY paid $8.30, and that is going to be our winner for the week. And then we had Square Cash, SQY pay $3.43. We had $5.12 from PLTY, and from ULTY we had $6.30. So not bad at all. Some really nice dividends from MSTY, CONY, PLTY, and ULTY. The rest, I want to see them jump up a little bit. SQY, not bad. And AMZY, it just pays out a lower yield. So I'm not surprised by that. I think it's typically averaging, last year it was 54%, if I'm remembering that right. I did a full breakdown on this spreadsheet where I tracked every YieldMax total return. And AMZY had a really solid return, but Amazon had a really good year as well. So that explains that. I don't think AMZY is going to start paying out huge dividends, but I'm really interested in seeing how the overall return is for that one. And what's key with this is I want to know if the weekly paying dividend ETFs outdo any of these other ones. Like, is Misty going to beat the weeklies? Is CONY going to beat the weeklies? What's crypto going to do? There's a lot that ties into all of these things. And ULTY is supposed to have a much better year than what we were seeing, and we have seen a bit of a bounce back, which I think is impressive. So I have all these sectors. We all have everything set up as the ETFs. Total return, just market-wise, there's not a lot that are down too heavily. PLTY is down $9. Just, if you invested 100, you're now at 91. So not a fan of that. NVDY is down $5. And again, this might just be because the market's been red. SQY is down almost $5, and ULTY is down $4.60. Again, that's likely just because the market. We can also see it has the dividend yields calculated for each of these, and this is all pulled off of Seeking Alpha's data. If you guys are interested in this spreadsheet, I have a ton of these that I filled out with my own personal data on, like the YieldMax full returns, the Roundhill returns, the weekly dividend payments. It's all available as a Tier 3 channel member, which you can buy it once. I think it's $25 for the tier, and then you can cancel it after. So you don't have to be a member to have access to it. Once you buy it, it's yours. It's a thank you. It helps support the channel. It helps me do all these challenges. Trust me, if you're not interested, do not buy it. I'm not looking for any sort of handouts. It's for those that want to use this, because I had it created for the channel and I really do enjoy it so far. And I'm always looking for criticisms and critiques on what you guys think could be better about it, because I am in touch with the developer. So let me know what you guys think about that. The cost basis, this is going to auto-populate. It should autofill. And then we do have the total dividends received over here in the corner. So annual dividends, we haven't seen a lot yet. Portfolio allocation shows up here. MSTY is already jumping because some of these other ones are down so heavily, and it's up so nicely. But total yield-wise, the account is saying that MSTY has a 152... Wow, nearly 153% return. Or not return, dividend yield. There's a vast difference. Don't forget that, because yield is what it's going to pay out, and return is your total return. So if it pays out a high yield but has a lot of NAV erosion, you're going to see it drop. So we have CONY in second place with 133% yield, and then we have TSLY in third with a 117% yield. Now, there are some things to think about. ULTY is at a 102.5% yield, But PLTY's most recent distributions have been a lot bigger. It's putting it in the near triple digit dividend yield category. So we will probably see this jump if those dividends can continue. And if not, not bad at all. We see YMAG at the lowest, which is a 47% yield, which is still absolutely insane. Actually, it's not the lowest. Our lowest is SQY at a 47%, exactly, almost exactly. So I'm really interested in seeing how these change over the coming couple of months with the market. If the market rebounds and he's going to go up, are they going to go down? Only time will tell. But all in all, I'm happy with what we've had so far. All the data's compiled in here, all of our positions, all the money, all the facts that we need. And so we'll continue to track this month after month after month. So I really appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget, if you want to see all the updates, and let me know what you think in the comments, but don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and I'm super grateful for all the support we've been given, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.